I used to be the type of person that would not even be able to sleep if I didn't get the closure that I needed. It didn't matter what the situation was, who the situation involved. I would just go crazy if I did not get the words that I wanted to hear. And this is how I changed that. Let me quickly start off with some context. I used to do this thing where after I would break up with someone or someone would break up with me, I would just not be able to process it. And I would literally be calling that person maybe like 5 times, and I would just constantly be sending text messages like, OMG, I can't believe that just happened. Like, I cannot like even like imagine a life without you, blah blah. And then I just realized that what was I even doing? That was honestly so embarrassing. It just felt like that I was just constantly looking for some sort of closure that I know that I would never ever be able to get from that person. I would honestly also do this thing where I know a lot of people do this, but it's like when you go and stalk that person's social media looking for an answer, but the truth is there is going to be no answer on their social media. I almost went crazy just stalking a person every single day, and I'm so happy that I don't do that anymore. I have realized that whatever situation it is that happened. So, for example, say that someone just left you, they didn't want you anymore, or say that it was a very messy situation and you guys got into an argument, like mean words were said, it does not matter. But I think the situation itself is already the closure that you need. The fact that you don't want that type of situation in your life is the closure. There is nothing in the world that that other person can say to you that's going to make yourself feel better. After my last relationship ended, I literally forced my ex to meet up with me for one last time. I proceeded to talk to him for like a whole 10 minutes and just wanting closure. And it was just me talking. And guess what? At the end of it, he didn't even say anything to me. He only said 2 words to me, which was, I'm sorry. And that was literally it. Not even like an explanation of why it happened, why he would do something like that, or what even happened between us. None of that. It was literally just 2 words. And I think that was the moment that made me realize that, you know what? You don't even need closure from anyone. I went crazy after that day thinking that why did I not get an explanation? Am I not worthy of an explanation? But then I realized that sometimes it doesn't matter what situation happened. Some people will not even be able to process the situation, and two, they just don't want to talk about it because that's their personal preference. And honestly, if that's what they want to do, then let them be. People will do things to you and you'll wonder why they did it. But the truth is that sometimes the person themselves, they don't even know why they did it either. People just, they act off of just instinct, they act off of just what they want to do. And especially if you're in a relationship with a person who doesn't even know who they are and they're also known for being toxic, you can literally expect that from them. When you keep talking to that person that hurt you, you are just constantly being reminded of the situation and you're not going to be able to move on from it. When you are in a state of your mind where you feel so hurt, of course your mind is going to run to the first thing that it thinks that knows the answer, and that is obviously that person. This might be a really, really tough pill to swallow, but genuinely some people, they just do not care. And what I mean by that is that some people, when they do something to hurt you and they know that you do deserve some sort of explanation and they're not giving it to you, it's because they don't care. If you just keep on waiting for closure, you will quite literally never ever get it, and you will spend the rest of your life still pining over that situation that happened. You deserve a peace of mind. Just because something is ruling over your head every single day, that doesn't mean that you continue to let it rule over your head. I know that a lot of times we get attached to situations. Even me, I used to do this thing where all of my negative thoughts about a situation, I would hold on to them so tightly because I knew that that was the last sort of link and attachment that I had to that situation. So I would quite literally refuse to let those negative thoughts go. But honestly, that is so, so, so toxic. Your reality is quite literally created by you. So if you keep thinking negatively about a situation, then that is what your reality will become. Versus if you think about it more positively, then that's how your reality will become. But I do believe that it is always completely up to you to save yourself from a situation that is ruling over your head so much. I don't think that in any situation ever that people have gotten the answer that they are looking for. No matter how bad the ending was and how badly you want to change it and wish that you had control over it, there is literally no control over it that you will ever be able to have over that situation. Stop letting people and situations have so much control over you. I know that a lot of times we like to idolize people and we like to just like the feelings that they give us, but you do need to realize that at the end of the day, you need to always care about yourself more, and you need to always like yourself more than you do these people and these situations. Because who was that person thinking about when they were going through that situation with you? They were probably thinking about themselves. So I need you to also start thinking about yourselves. Also, another topic that I think that is very important is do not stalk that person. I know that a lot of times we do have these feelings where we just want to just constantly stalk them, or we just want to catch up with their friends, see what their friends are doing. I know that we just want to revisit old memories, but I need you to realize that the more that you try to do that, the more that you will just realize that you're just digging a deeper hole for yourself. Because literally, what is the point of doing all of that? Here's some more context on my story. It has been 4 months since I have ever met my ex for the last time, and all I can say is that to this day I have still not gotten any closure as to how it happened, why they would do that or whatever. But I feel so much better without even any closure. Because would it be nice to get closure? Yeah, but do you need closure? No, because even if they did give closure, that will literally not even change the fact that you need to move on eventually from everything. And honestly, if we think about it, what does closure even look like? Just that person be like, okay, well, I'm sorry. The reason why I did this was because blah, 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 blah. Then they're like giving you like 5 minutes conversation worth of why it happened. But it's like, okay, then what? What are you going to do after you get that closure? Even after you get that closure that you have been waiting for so long, it's not going to change the fact that it has already ended and that situation happened. You can get all the closure that you want, but it will literally not change the fact in your mind that you are still thinking about that situation every day. You can have the answer to something, but just because you have the answer to it, that doesn't mean that you're just automatically going to move on from it. You're never going to get the answer to why that person cheated on you. You're never ever going to get the answer as to why they hurt you, as to why they even would, I don't know, say those rude words to you. You're just never gonna get those answers from anyone. Moving on from situations and not constantly needing closure is honestly a skill that a lot of people still need to build up, because it's not just something that happens over time. Because naturally, as humans, we want connections and we will get hurt when something bad happens, and we will naturally want the answers to everything. But I think that's the part where you just need to learn it as time goes on. You will probably have so many situations in this life where you're just gonna constantly want closure and you're just gonna constantly be looking for answers and chasing the answers. But the truth is, you're just never gonna get the answers. So you need to literally sit with that thought every single day and just, if it helps, just make up the answers yourself and then just move on from the situation. You quite literally already have the answer in your head, because the truth is, we know the reason why that person did something bad to us. We quite literally already know why they cheated on us. I think a lot of stuff is really obvious, and you can even ask like your friends or anyone that you trust, and they will probably have an answer for you too. But my main point here is that regardless of all of these answers, it literally does not take away from the fact that you quite literally eventually will have to move on. The closure will start the second that you start to value yourself. The closure will start the second that you start to do small acts of kindness for yourself, because that means that you are moving on from the situation and you are treating yourself nicer. The only way that you can actually get closure from a situation is to be nicer to yourself. Be nicer to yourself about the fact that it happened, and be nicer to yourself about the fact that you tried your best in that situation, and that realize that there was nothing that you could have done to change it. Anyways, I hope that this video was able to help someone, and I just want you to know that there is nothing in this world that anyone can do to you that you will not be able to get over.